Hi, I'm Lauren Goode. I'm a reporter for All Things Digital. And in case you haven't noticed, this is changing the way we consume this. I'm talking about the news and mobile, of course. So for my column this week, I've been taking a look at two new mobile apps that serve up news, and they're really tailoring the whole experience for the mobile screen. Now, you already might use a lot of mobile apps for news. Maybe your favorite newspaper or magazine has made a mobile app specifically for that reason. But on the other hand, you might sometimes click on links to articles that are on social networks or that someone sent to you, and you're looking at it in a mobile browser on your phone, and you hit a paywall, or you're pinching and squeezing your way around the article, and it's tiny type font, and it's really just not an optimal experience for reading the news. So with this in mind, I've been taking a look at Circa and Sumly. Let's talk about Sumly first. Sumly is interesting because it's probably gotten as much attention for the app itself and its technology as it has for its 17-year-old creator, Nick Delosio. So if you're feeling like you haven't accomplished much in life, maybe you want to stop watching this video now, because what this kid has done is pretty impressive. What Sumly does is it uses an algorithm that scans longer news articles from established news outlets, and there are potentially an infinite number of news outlets it could be pulling from on the web, and then it takes about 3 or 4 sentences from each of those longer articles and assembles a little Sumly, as they call it, or summary, specifically for this application. And this is across a variety of news topics. So there's world news, there's US news, there's health, science, technology, arts, entertainment, and that sort of thing. And when you first go into the app, you'll see a bunch of tiles that have these different topics. And you can also create your own topic, which I thought was really cool. So you could tap on this little add button here, type in something like basketball or health and fitness or whatever it is that's piquing your interest right now, and within literally a few seconds there will be all these summaries that pop up in that topic for you. When you tap on it twice, it brings you to an extended version of the summary. If you swipe up or down, it'll either bring you back to the topics page, or it will bring you to the original news source for that article. So even though the app itself, let's say, doesn't show a writer byline or who's written the story, if you want to see where it came from and you want to read the real article because the summary has intrigued you, you can go to that from the app too. The only thing I noticed about Sumly is, since this is all happening through technology and there aren't any human editors that are crafting these stories, sometimes there are grammatical or punctuation errors in the summaries. Sometimes they don't make a ton of sense, they don't flow correctly. It depends on how the sentences are assembled in the summary, but considering that this is just an app, basically a bot that's doing this, it is pretty impressive. Then there's Circa. Now, Circa is a little bit different from Sumly, because where Sumly just pulls the content from established news sources and creates summaries, Circa actually has a very small staff at this point of about 12 people that are writing these short stories. Now, in a lot of instances, they're getting their information from other news outlets, and in that case there are citations for which article the information may have originally come from. Circa's co-founder told me that they also do some of their own original reporting and sourcing, and that's where some of the stories are coming from. The stories aren't as short as Sumly's. When you go to Circa and you go to an article, it is broken up into something called points. So you'll get smaller digestible bits of information or paragraphs, but it's all about how you swipe through the app. I mean, you swipe through it, these points create a longer story, but it's broken up by really great photographs or graphs or maps, things like that. And it's just a very mobile-friendly experience. There are a couple other little differences between them. Circa has social sharing, so you could share a Circa story, and if not a whole story, a little points through Facebook or Twitter. Circa also allows you to follow a news story that's interesting to you, and as the editors update it, you'll receive notifications on your phone. So this week I opted to follow a couple different stories in the news that I thought were particularly interesting, and then throughout the week I would get a little notification on my phone that Circa had updated that story, which would drive me back to the app. I thought that was really great. But I really did like in Sumly the ability to create topics of my choice. Neither app has a search function, so you're not going to go to them and look for a particular topic that way. I like that Sumly let me create something for basketball, and then immediately I could get all of the articles about college basketball that I could possibly want to see. It's still unclear what the full implications of mobile and mobile apps like these are going to be on the future of news. Obviously, I am a news reporter, so I'm a bit invested in this industry, but I was really trying to look at this through the eyes of the average consumer. And for that, I would say both do a great job of making news a little bit easier to read on mobile. They've both got great designs. In both cases, I think the writing itself, or in Sumly's case, the way that narratives flow could use a little bit of work. Sumly says it's constantly improving its technology. But yeah, if you're an avid news reader, you like to read it on mobile, and you want someone serving up your topics to you, telling you what to read, I would take a look at Sumly and Circa. They're both free. Thanks for watching my review this week. I'm Lauren Goode, reporter for All Things Digital, and we'll see you next week.